Hunter Campbell, you mad son of a bitch, you did it again. And here's Dana White to poorly announce it on Instagram.
What's up, everybody? I got another fight announcement for you. October 5th, we will be returning to Utah at the Delta Center for UFC 307. The main event, Alex Periera will look to defend his light heavyweight belt against Khalil Roundtree. Periera is on a tear and looking to make his third title defense this year. Each of his last 3 fights have ended in knockouts, beating previous champs Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska twice. He will face Khalil Roundtree, who is on a 5-fight win streak, with 4 of those ending in knockouts. The co-main event...
You gotta feel for Ankalaev here. I feel like somebody's gonna say that. Guess what? They did. Spinning back fist here. Gotta feel for Ankalaev not getting a title shot at this point. Having Khalil pull out of Hill fight, and then get rewarded with a title fight. Khalil just went on Joe Rogan a few weeks ago and aired all this stuff out about having taken the tainted supplement or something, but it wasn't Khalil's fault. He came forward with the information and he put it all out there, aired all that out there, and the UFC's basically rewarding him for showing up and showing out and putting on a serious, being honest performance with what happened. And they want him to get the title shot because he's an interesting, fun fighter. And Ankalaev's boring and doesn't quite have the resume that he really does need for a title shot. Let's just be honest here. Who is he beating? Anthony Smith? Who else is he beating? I don't know. Johnny Walker? Really? Like, that's going to get you your title shot? Absolutely not. So he's elevated because of this Dagestani thing, and I got nothing against the Dagestanis personally, but it's just this thing, man, like, he doesn't really deserve it as much as possible, and they know that Khalil Roundtree is going to bring it. And I think this is definitely a late notice kind of a situation here. And we know that's why they're doing this, because Alex is game. Khalil is game. He's willing to do anything. Coming off that small suspension for the drug, tainted, whatever the heck it was exactly. So yeah, here we go. Let's continue with the announcement. Alex Periera versus Khalil Roundtree. Very exciting stuff. It's going to be a banger. 2 guys that are willing to sling it and swing on the feet. Looking forward to that one.
Will be bantamweight Raquel Pennington versus the number 1 ranked Juliana Pena. Pennington is a true OG of the division. She has the most significant strikes in bantamweight history, 2nd most control time, 2nd most wins, and has the longest active winning streak with 6. Pena had the biggest upset of the year in 2021, beating Amanda Nunes to take the bantamweight title.
All right, I'm making these faces joking about Raquel Pennington just being like the most average of average women out there, but the Pena win over Nunes was pretty awesome. Like, that was one of the few times for a women's MMA fight where I actually got up out of my seat and was cheering for her. Like, that was pretty awesome. I will admit that. Like, good for her.
8 of her 11 wins have come by finish. Also on the card, Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira.
So, Raquel Pennington is going to be taking on Juliana Pena. Big time matchup for the women's bantamweight division. Does anybody really care that Pena and Raquel Pennington's happening? Because Pena actually promotes fights and is kind of an interesting character in terms of the MMA world. Her fighting style, not so much. Pena, very boring, very bland. Whatever, she's good. She kind of just got here on a whim. I don't really care. Couldn't care less. But it's Alex Periera, Khalil Roundtree. 2 guys that come to bang. That's what I want to see.
Undefeated 18-0 Mozart Ivalov.
Oh, they're just running through these quick.
Versus the former bantamweight champ Aljamain Sterling, the legend Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista, Roman Dolidze versus Kevin Holland,
oh, yes.
And a very fun matchup between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley.
Oh, shit.
October 5th from the Delta Center. Tickets go on sale Friday on SeatGeek, Utah. I will see you soon.
Dude, Hunter Campbell, I said it as a joke before, but man, he really fucking pulled this shit out of his ass. Alex Periera, Khalil Roundtree, big time matchup, light heavyweight, 205 pounds for the strap. That's going to be a banger. Muay Thai versus kickboxing, Brazilian versus American. Like, this is what we want to see. Does Khalil really deserve the title shot? I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video about it in a little bit. We'll see what happens. Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, kind of like a mandatory belt matchup we've got going on here. Ketlin Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla's going to run this bitch over. Like, holy crap. Kayla's one of the few women that actually goes in there and puts a beating on other women, so that one probably be fun to watch. I don't like that it's 3rd on the pay-per-view, maybe main card opener, prelim headliner maybe, because I see there's a bunch of big fights here announced. But dude, Hunter pulled some shit out of his ass. Mobsar versus Aljamain, we kind of knew that one was already floating out there. Dagestani Grappler versus the Jiu-Jitsu of Aljamain Sterling, that'll be a fun matchup. Aldo versus Bautista, taking on one of the prospects coming up in Bautista. Jose Aldo on his return. He's coming to Salt Lake City. We'll see how the not the climate. I was going to say climate. How the sea level is going to be for him. Roman Dolidze stepping in. We knew Kevin Holland was going to be on this card fighting Chris Curtis. Now he's going to be taking on Roman Dolidze in what I assume is a 185 matchup. Or I know Roman just moved up to 205, but I think he's going to be coming back down to 185. And then the big matchup that we're all excited to see, we've all kind of been vying for this matchup, is Stephen Thompson versus Wonder Boy versus Joaquin Buckley. Can't get my words together. Big time matchup. Welterweight. Joaquin Buckley, has he got what it takes to stick in the top 5, top 10 range? Or is Stephen Thompson going to turn away another contender? This is going to be a fun striking matchup on the feet, I hope. Roman Dolidze, Kevin Holland, striking matchup on the feet. Good scrap back and forth. They both got good jiu-jitsu. Jose Aldo, Bautista, I know that's going to be a scrap on the feet. They both got good ground games, but that'll most likely play out on the feet. Evlo of Sterling, that's going to be a great fun matchup. They're probably going to strike on the feet because they're both dangerous on the ground. Kayla Harrison versus Ketlin Vieira. I think Kayla's just going to steamroll her and get to the title shot. They're putting both of these big bantamweight matchups because whoever wins that fight's getting the title next. Whoever wins the top fight between Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena. So it's good to get them both on the same schedule. Hopefully they can just get through these bantamweight fights because nobody cares about it. I'm sorry. And then finally, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree. Awesome matchup to make on short notice. They're going to have time for a full camp, but I know Alex was trying to come back in November, December. I bet they're probably paying him the big bucks for this one. Big time fight. 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. This is the way to do it. Great pay-per-view setup. Hunter Campbell does it again.